How did my week go as an elementary school nurse? Thanks for asking. 2 kids managed to cut their finger with scissors this week. Both were an accident, but whatever they were doing in class must have been very exciting. They were both more annoyed with the fact that they were missing whatever activity it was. But the star of the show this week was, of course, the flu. The trend I think we are all seeing is the headaches and stomach aches. But then you go to check their temperature and they're like 98.6. So they are technically okay to stay at school. They don't have to go home until it's 100.4. But then the next day, you've got mom calling saying little Johnny won't be at school today because he spiked a fever through the night and just tested positive for the flu. So with knowing how the trend has been going, I've been calling home more when the kids come in with the headaches and the stomach aches. And I've just been leaving it up to the parents if they want to come pick their kid up. Because as a school nurse, one of your roles is to keep the kids healthy. But another big role is to increase attendance in school. Sometimes it feels absolutely impossible to do both, but maybe that's a conversation for another time. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Had multiple kids get hit in the head with a football, but for one kid, it got him right on the side of the eyebrow. Left the biggest goose egg I think I've ever seen. A little one came to see me because they were struggling to poop. It is known that English is not the family's first language, but when the teacher asked the student what language they spoke at home, she said we speak Kentucky. Although I was still very confused what language her parents spoke, I was like, girl, same. Kentucky for sure has its own language. There's actually a lot of kids that speak different languages in the school and a lot of different languages that are spoken. And it's very normal that some students will bring a friend to come down with them if they don't feel comfortable, if they haven't met me yet. So when a student is still learning English, let's say they primarily speak Spanish, they'll send a student that's bilingual to help translate. Obviously, we have access to actual translators that we can call and help us if needed. But when the kids translate for their friends, it is the cutest thing ever because they take so much pride in it. They just feel so helpful and you can tell they just love looking out for their friends. I also sat in on my first IEP meeting this week, and an older student came to see me this week because he thought he had nerve damage after his hand fell asleep in class. Honestly, it took a long time convincing him he was fine.